Ghostbusters!
Welcome to episode 10 of the Dark Horde podcast. I'm your host, Manny Moonraker. You might know me from the other podcast, UFO Buster Radio, from the UFO Buster Radio network on Spreaker.com. And I kind of decided sometimes you just got to bridge out a little bit. And this is my 10th time doing it. 10th episode for the Dark Horde podcast. The Dark Horde Twitter account is out there making some moves, making some changes in people's lives and retweeting things. That is the one Twitter bot that I have for the Dark Horde that really picks up some really good things. A lot of great authors, a lot of authors that are new to the game of writing the paranormals. And we picked them up on there. We retweet and it's weird because that side of the fence of the paranormal community is always so happy to, share and retweet and share vampire stories, show like vampire marks and shit like that, bite marks on the neck, share the blood types, how many children they have. I mean, I'm just saying, they're really open, they're really cool about things. Only once in a while, you'll come across somebody having like a spat or something like that on the Twitterverse when it comes to paranormal things like that. But the weird thing is that if you go to the other side of the paranormal, the one that people don't even consider paranormal these days, which is UFOs and aliens, people fighting there all the fucking time. It's like constant fighting between people who research UFOs and are so fucking opinionated that it's hilarious. And listen, we all got opinions, just like we all got assholes. But it doesn't mean that you need to open it up to everyone. Sometimes you got to keep your butthole closed. I'm just saying, just keep it closed. It's okay. You don't have to spread it just because someone says something that you don't agree about. That kind of went left a little bit there, but I just saw some of that today. In between being stuck to the TV watching COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic news, I'm just I'm beside myself. In the history books we read about pandemics and epidemics and things like that, and it's not the same as experiencing it in real life. And just imagine this. Now we have this connection to the rest of the world, which people didn't have like 100 years ago or more. And so when they went through stuff like this, it was like hearsay. They'd hear about, people passing away in a different part of the world, probably like months later after it happened. Now, it could be like 2-3 hours, since, let's say someone in Germany tallies up the numbers, or somebody in Spain or Italy, and we here already know about it. It's a lot more, in your face, I guess, living in 2020 through what I like to call a pandemic. 2020 pandemic is fucking nuts. And thanks to the media, the internet, the globalization, it's all really real. And it really is hard to not have your nose in it 24/7, trying to see what the hell's going on. I've gotten so bad that I've downloaded all these news apps just to watch the videos on my phone when I'm not, by the TV. That's how bad I am. I am like watching this like a hawk, and I think everyone should as well. It's not something to take lightly. You need to get out there and do it, because even Bigfoot is out there concerned about COVID-19, the coronavirus. Bigfoot, one of the most endearing cryptids there is. And if you look at the logo for this particular episode, number 10, you'll see that Bigfoot is the hide-and-seek champion of the world. No one could lay a finger on this guy, or gal, for all we know. It's just a big-ass fucking tall-ass hairball. So, what do? We have to crown him hide-and-seek champion. But today's episode is all about Bigfoot and things that have happened in the last few years, something recently, and something last year, and then we're going to take a trip back for another incident. The hide-and-seek champion gives no fucks. But the stories are fascinating, because some people tell stories about Bigfoot that are scary as hell. Because can you imagine coming face to face with something that's almost twice your fucking size, standing upright, just looking at you, face to face, well, eyeballs to skull. And what do you do? Like, I don't know that I'd freeze or run like hell. I think the whole fight or flight, there will be no fight. It'll be all flight. I mean, gone. Like, literally, you'll see my dust. But I could imagine that something that big can run fast as fuck. I mean, I don't know if I could outrun it. I have no idea. Hopefully we never have to find out. But the thing is that our hide-and-seek champion needs to also be protected from COVID-19. Because he's a mammal, Nessie, fuck Nessie. Nessie's under the water. Nessie don't give two shits about all these viruses, airborne viruses. Don't give no fucks. But Bigfoot and the Chupacabra, come on, we got to protect our cryptids. We can't let them become victims of the coronavirus. That's just nuts. Completely fucking nuts. I want to say hello to the folks in our live chat, the old faithful, I call them, the crew that means something to the UFO Buster Radio Network, because they are there and always supporting the podcast. It is Green Man Gutter, who I like to call Gutter, and I'm sure we'll see more of them kind of chiming in as we go along. But we're going to go ahead and play the first track, because we got to save Bigfoot. We do. I know, and the shit is that if he gets caught up in this whole coronavirus thing, we'll never fucking find him. We'll never know.
bust another. Bust another. Blue face, it bust another. Blue face, it bust another.
I was sitting here laughing because the guys in the live chat, hey, Dave is here. They kind of heard a hidden message in that song. I promise I had no idea that was in that song. Wink, wink. Yeah, so there you go. So the first story for today, which was Bigfoot related, because this is the day of Bigfoot here, April 4th, 2020. Viral Bigfoot photos at Turkey Mountain, a part of City Park social distancing campaign. Apparently somebody decided it was a good idea to put out a bunch of Bigfoot sightings. Yeah, got into a whole Bigfoot suit and everything and started having pictures taken along the trails of this particular park. So it went viral, right? Because oh shit, we got Bigfoot. Damn, the pandemic's here. What am I going to do? You know, you put your mask on, you put your hazmat suit on, you run the fuck out and try to catch Bigfoot. That's what you do. But apparently what the issue was over at Turkey Mountain was that they noticed weather's getting a little better. There's going to be people out at the park. But for the love of Pete, don't forget about the fact that we are in a pandemic. Please. So they took all these pictures, and finally they came out the closet and said, no, it wasn't Bigfoot. It really wasn't. It was a campaign to make sure that you guys, the public, understand that there are other people in the park, and there may be some cryptids like Bigfoot as well, but you'll never know because he's the hide-and-seek champion. But if you don't practice social distancing, you're going to kill him, and we will never find his ass. So please, 6 feet apart, enjoy the park. That really is what the message was. And let's see, who is this guy? It turns out the guy's name was Ryan Howell. And what he did was he went out there, he staged several sighting photos, and from there, of course, it went viral. They're all excited about that, but then they turned around and say, hey, listen, it is a social distancing Sasquatch, and just him in the costume. So Ryan had the idea, a way to kind of get away from the doom and gloom of COVID-19 and the fact that it's driving people insane. And the minute that the weather gets nice outside, first thing you want to do is get the fuck out the house. You know, you're sitting in there for days on end. Some people in some areas haven't left the fucking house at all. Like, I swear to you, I have not seen my neighbors in about 3 fucking weeks. I don't know if they're dead. I don't know if they're alive. I'm looking. I'm having Bugs. I'll take Bugs, the UFO hunter, and I've been putting him over the fence to see if he can smell any dead bodies. Because I'm thinking they smell a lot like aliens, and that's what he specializes in. But if I don't smell any dead aliens and Bugs doesn't either, then, we're good. They're alive somewhere. That's what I'm going to assume. I'm thinking that's what's going on. That they really are practicing social distancing, or I am surrounded by Bigfoot families, and so I'll never find out if they're there or not. I'm not really sure. Not really sure how that's going to work out. But that's what it was. So it became viral, and people started saying, of course, how scared they were to be out, even enjoying the good weather because of COVID-19. And I guess the viral message using Bigfoot, our old faithful cryptid, got the message across and it was popular and people understand that they can enjoy the outdoors, but don't try to kill nobody else. And please, keep Bigfoot alive. For the love of Pete, don't do it. Don't do it. And there you go. So that was, and it was a feel-good story. And I was looking for something that was from today. Something that talked about Bigfoot. Now, I know we've had, in the last few weeks, we had stories about people putting up some fake Bigfoot photos and things like that. But, yeah, it's fake. I'm sorry. I just outed myself. But again, this was out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you guys who are familiar with that Netflix series, The Tiger King, I think that was also in Oklahoma itself. So this is all regarding the park around Turkey Mountain. And I'm sure some of you people who are out there have recognized this. Fuck, you might even related to the guy in the Bigfoot suit. Who fucking knows? By the way, the suit is great. If you look at the article that's linked in the description, check it out. You'll see his full Bigfoot costume. I mean, listen, if I would have seen his ass out there and I had I would have tranquilized his ass and brought him in for questioning, to be honest. That's a pretty nice looking suit. How the fuck do you find something like that? I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't
Bug's a UFO hunter. He just came up the steps here. And he just flopped down. He sounds like what I would think Mr. T would sound like. One of them chains just rattling. And you would think this guy was, not Mr. T, but Bug's a UFO hunter. You would think that, he's like a 200-pound dog. No, he's barely like 25 pounds. The hell is wrong with him? He thinks big. No doubt about it. This particular story is out of the state of Missouri. Or Missouri, depending on how you want to say it. There's different ways, I'm sure, because those are the two versions that I know. Group tracking Bigfoot shows 147 reports of sightings in Missouri. 140. Are you serious? When I see reports like this, I wonder, are we that messed up in the head? What's going on? Aliens and UFOs, chupacabras, Nessie, Bigfoot, Abominable, Snowman, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. But it turns out many people see these things as hoaxes, right? People going around with the fake gigantic feet, fucking up branches and stuff like that, trying to show that maybe something large was running through there, and in charge, by the way. So there's a group called the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, and they're the ones that reported that they had about 147 reports of the Bigfoot sightings in the state of Missouri alone in 2019. Not over 5 years, not in the last 30 years. 2019. That's how it went down. There's a story in here from a guy named Cody. Cody apparently was from the state university out there in Missouri. And it turns out that one late night in May of 2012, Cody was out there with 3 friends in a Jeep. Yeah, so he was over in some area where there's a game access area, game hunting, stuff like that. The area itself was close to Smithville Lake in Clay County, out in Missouri. And there's some quotes about his situation. Well, I tell you what, I read this. And let me tell you this. I want you to let me just do this right now. I want you to keep this story in mind. Keep in mind what Cody is going to tell us here. And I got an audio clip for the last story, which is the next one. That audio clip is, as they say in the hood, it's balls to the wall. Now, some of you might not understand balls to the wall, but I can tell you this. If I were Cody, and if I were to hear the clip that I'm going to play for you in the next story, fuck Bigfoot, fuck everybody. I wouldn't leave my house. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, the hide-and-seek champion needs to stay hidden. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to this. So Cody says this. I've seen bears. I've seen mountain lions. I've seen bobcats. Even in the dead of night, checking game cameras in southern Arkansas, or Arkansas, sorry, and hearing a panther scream, I've never heard anything that quite in my entire life. Yeah. So he heard what I'm going to play for you in the next story. Cody and his friends pretty much were getting ready to leave when they spotted something in the distance that apparently to this day still haunts them. About 20 yards off in front of the Jeep, there's something in the tall grass, he said, looking at us. This grass is about 3 to 4 feet high, and it's like it's a big thing with eyes like the size of taillights just looking at us. In a panic, he said that the driver drove through a small cable fence, pulling the cable ties out. Cody said they almost hit the creature. He says that thing just stood up, and it was at least 2 feet taller than the Jeep we were sitting in, Cody said. I got within about 15 to 20 feet of it, and he says he got a better look from a distance at whatever the hell this creature was. He says it's just like what people say. It looks like a person, but not like a person. Sorry, not sorry. Kind of like a monkey, but not like a monkey. Like Corey was fucked up in the head after this. Like everything's like, yeah, like I'm happy, but I'm not happy. Like I'm Cody, but I'm not Cody. Anyway. And then he says, or like an ape, or rather an ape or something. He was totally confused about life after that. Like Cody was like useless. I'll be honest. He was like, I think he had a lot of therapy after this. And then we just drove off and got the hell up out of there. Cody, and what many people are saying that him and his buddies came across was El Bigfoot, El Yahweh, Sasquatch here. Yeah, that's what happened. Of course, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't think that. They still think that maybe Cody and his three buddies were screwing around, getting drunk, getting high. They weren't out there for no game. Are you serious? Shut up. He's lying to us. Scooter says that maybe poor Cody has some PTSD. It's like, listen, if something, again, I'm telling you, we're going to combine this story with the next one. But if someone or something stands up 2 feet taller than a Jeep and is just eyeing you down, fight or flight, I would do just like these boys did, and I would get the fuck out of Dodge. I'm not going to stick around. I'm not going to, like, play chicken with it either. He could probably flip that damn Jeep really easy. So Cody's story is what many people report in seeing, this gigantic, hairy-ass beast of a thing that looks like an ape, looks like a monkey, maybe not, maybe so. Depends how you look at it, I guess. Depends how scared shitless you are. Because I'm sure if you're, like, getting the squirts while you're looking at this thing, you probably see all kind of things. It's probably, hell, it probably was just a bear or something like that, who knows. But that's what a lot of people in the science community are saying. And that's what this article goes into, that what they're saying is, unless there is verifiable proof that this was a so-called Bigfoot, that it was probably just some other animal that could be found in the environment over there in Missouri. But just like aliens, just like the Loch Ness Monster and the Chupacabras, unless there's proof, it's not going to go anywhere because science is dropping the big poo-poo on it. They're like, no, unless you can give me evidence, some hair samples, some DNA, a video, unless you write it in here like a Brokeback Mountain ride. Out there in the mountains of Missouri, just jump on the back of this damn thing and write that shit in and bring it to us. Otherwise, the hide and seek world champion doesn't even exist. Not one bit. There is a reference to a book in here regarding kind of to give you an idea, because a lot of times people say, well, it's technology. Technology is making us fucked up in the head, and we're starting to see shit everywhere. Or they're trying to say that it's a developmental thing. They're watching too much fucking TV. That's what it is. They're playing too many video games, and they're poisoning their minds, and they're freaking going to pareidolia. It was probably a big bush out there that they happened to hit, and it just sprung up after they ran it over with the damn Jeep. But there is a reference here to a book that was dated 986. There's no one in front of that. 986. Year 986. Okay? The author for this article makes reference to Bigfoot himself being one of the most famous cryptids in American history. And he says that the earliest recorded sighting reportedly dates back to Leif Erikson in the year 986. According to Rick Emmer, in his book Bigfoot Fact or Fiction, Leif and the Vikings who set foot on North American soil, back then it was just a piece of land, described seeing a creature that was horribly ugly, hairy, swarthy, and with big black eyes. They called the creature Skellring. Kind of sounds like Cody's creature, huh? Still hanging around. So Bigfoot has been around for a long time. It's not something that happened recently. And, American Indians, Native American Indians also have their own reportings and dealings with a creature that we describe the same way, like Bigfoot. So this is no Johnny-come-lately when it comes to the cryptids. So there you go. Looking here at the chat box, Brokeback Bigfoot, absolutely. You get on that fucker, you get on the bareback, and you ride him into the nearest biologist. Try to get some tests done. Get some of that fecal matter. I'm sure Bigfoot would give it up. He'd be like that feces-throwing monkey from that one zoo. That is the story. Now keep in mind this incident that Cody had. Keep in mind how he was traumatized. Because the next one is going to bring you live what Cody and his boys might have heard in Missouri. Because it's nothing to joke about. Like literally, if I hear stuff like this, I'm out. I'll leave everyone behind. Everyone. Any family members, you're done. You're screwed. Fend for yourself, I'm out of there.
So this is how we end up. Shades of blue and gray. I feel just like an empty bottle. My dreams are on delay. I just wanna climb on top of a hill and throw it all away, away. Take me far away before my mind spins off and I am all derailed, derailed. Just drive all the way to the rainbow's end. Just drive, and we'll never turn our backs again. So this is how we end up. The game is set to play. Every day remains the same now. One decision we obey. I just wanna climb on top of a hill and throw it all away, away. Take me far away before my mind spins off and I am all derailed, derailed. Just
For this next story, we're going all the way up north to Canada. Ontario, that is. Ontario, Canada. Apparently there was a grandpa and a grandma and a grandson. And they were out hunting. Yeah, they were out there hunting, eh? They weren't searching for some poutine. Not to be confused with the other word. I always get myself in trouble. Yeah, poutine, fries with gravy on it. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But this family was out doing a little hunting. They were hunting birds, as a matter of fact, because maybe they were hungry. I don't know. That's probably what they do. But they were modern. They weren't just out there, just hunting in the wilderness dressed up in bear clothing. They were out there because they wanted to teach the kid a few things. Grandma and grandpa getting crazy, getting jiggy with it, with nature, and putting one right between the eyeballs. But they had a smartphone in hand, and something went down. And many are saying, hey, that's Bigfoot. Gino Meekus. He is a hunter and resident of northwestern Ontario near, Sioux Lookout. He was with his wife, grandma, and the grandson. And this happened about October 3rd, about 50 kilometers outside of the town, when they heard something really fucking odd. Yeah. When I tell you, this was one crazy sound. There's a quote in here from Meekus, or should I say Gino. It says, we walked down a trail to see if we can find a bird, and on our way back to the vehicle, it started. When it let out the first scream, I thought it was a moose. But my mind changed when it screamed again and again. Meekus and his wife, they paused for a moment to record the sound, and that's the audio you're about to hear. The grandson, he was so taken by this sheer show of unadulterated nature that he started mimicking the sound back. Now listen, grandma and grandpa, that's when you pop them in the mouth. Like, shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell is out there. Hey, you guys are going to understand when you listen to this. I would have popped that kid in the mouth. Shut the fuck up. What is wrong with you? Yeah, so, let's, yeah, I actually would do that. I don't play no fucking games. Listen, let's go ahead and play this because it is freaky. Now, just imagine you're the Mickey's family here, and you're out there, and you and your wife, and you got this kid with you. I mean, he's really, listen, you didn't create the kid. That's your son's kid or your daughter's kid. You can just leave his ass behind, right? Yeah, he's young anyway. No one's going to miss him. He hasn't been around that long. Apparently not, because he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. But let me just play this for you because it's bananas. It really is. I'm not even playing around. I mean, listen to that. And did you hear that little kid? Come on, Miki's family. You can just shut that kid up. Actually, it sounded like at the 1 minute mark, like when he yelled out, it sounded like Grandma like took his head and bashed it against the car to get him to shut up. That's what it sounded like to me. But I think it was that they came up to the car, and so she might have been opening the door or what have you. But also around that mark, you also hear him say, "Oh my God." That's what they said when they heard these. It sounded like howling. Now, of course, there are some people saying that maybe it was a wolf that was out there. Fuck, if that's a wolf, that must have been a werewolf. Come on, I'm saying. But it was daytime, so it could have been a werewolf. Unless it was wearing one of those sunlight rings. Anyway, so that's all I'm saying. That shit was crazy. That kid really needed to shut the hell up. I would have left his ass behind. I didn't give birth to that kid. I didn't contribute to that, at least not directly. I'm just leaving behind. I just jump in the car. I'll see you later. Yeah, that's your fault. You should have shut the hell up. I'll be honest. That would have been me. Fight or flight. I would have gone. Mrs. would have stayed there too. Really, because probably would have moved fast enough to get in the car anyway. So left them all behind. Sorry. That would have been the news article right there. Fuck the sound. I wouldn't even play the sound. They got lost. I looked for days. I'd never go back there again. Yeah, but that was kind of like the freaky, eerie sound. You imagine being out in the middle of the woods and you hear that. And actually, if you hear the actual audio, and I'm sure you kind of lose kind of the effect because it's being put out through the podcast here. But if you actually listen to the audio itself, you can hear an echo. You know, it's out in the wilderness, right? It's out in the open, but there's like this echo behind it that makes it sound even scarier. Completely scary. And in the video, when it starts howling, they just stop in their tracks. And they just listen, except for a little kid who decides, I'm going to howl back. Pound my chest, hear me roar. Left your ass behind. I'll tell you, man, I would have popped him in the mouth. Shut the hell up. That is a crazy story. Check out the link that's in the description. It'll take you to the actual video, and you might be able to hear that echo that I'm talking about. And it is so eerie, and you see them out there. I mean, this is crazy. The best thing about this video, it really is the fact that the grandson was howling back. Because many times you'll hear people say, well, they added that sound in there. That's not what really happened. Somebody added it. They went in, they edited the sound. Kind of like those things where people were saying that they were hearing trumpets from the skies. And people are saying, no, they're adding that sound in after the fact. Well, thanks to this kid, we know that that's not the case. This wasn't a doctored up video. He actually heard it. And he called back. God bless his little heart. He howled back. And so we know it wasn't doctored up. Now the question is, what was it? Was it Bigfoot? Was it a lion? Not a mountain lion, but a wolf or something like that was out there howling away. It is scary as hell, to be honest. Now, of course, this made the news out in Ontario. And apparently the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry said, no, it's not Bigfoot. No. Nope, not Bigfoot. What they said was this. Our biologists say it could be a larger mammal, for example, a wolf. But because it is a considerable distance from the recorder, there's no way to know for sure. Jolanta Kowalski, she's the media relations officer from Ontario's Ministry of Resources and Forestry. And she said that in an email. But here's the one thing you got to think about. So they're admitting that this thing was probably pretty far. The guy did not have a whole fucking audio setup. He didn't have a boom mic out there. No, he had his damn cell phone. So if this thing is that far and it can be picked up by a cell phone, how big do you think this motherfucker is? How big is it? It is huge. Huge. But it could be some other large mammal, according to them. They don't give no fucks. They just want to get rid of it. Stop people from talking about it. That's all it's about, to be honest. Those are the articles for today. And again, I would have been a widower and missing my grandson. if I heard this. Totally. I would have gone. Probably would have gotten in trouble later on, right, when they showed up after walking like 3 days to get back. That's the way. Those are the breaks, man. The kid's got to keep his mouth shut. Button it up. This is the Dark Horde Podcast. I am Manny Moonraker. I am checking out. I thank you guys for visiting and being part of the madness. Episode number 10 in the can. And by the way, we are currently now on Spotify and also on iTunes, finally. That took a little bit of a while, but we're on there. In case you want to listen directly from your iTunes app, it's there. But do the thing that you got to do, and that's hit a like, share it, spread the word. I'm not your normal paranormal show. I get a little crazy, as you can tell, because I already lost a wife and grandson, and I don't even have a grandson. But that's just the way it goes. Bigfoot is going to continue to be the hide-and-seek champion of the world. No doubt about it. Will we ever solve Bigfoot? I don't think we ever will. I think we'll figure out aliens way before Bigfoot, to be honest. And that's my opinion there, but you can take it for what it's worth. Now, I'm going to let you guys go with this outro song that it's actually in Spanish, but man, the beat on it, it's crazy. It is exciting. Shit, most of you won't even know what the fuck they're saying, but I kind of like it. It's pretty cool. So with that said, ciao.
A todos los palomos dice que tienen millo, pero no tienen nada. Tengo Gucci, Prada, Balenciaga, todo lo que tú quieras ver. Palomo, alerta.
Porque tengo los millones, chones, 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 chones. Porque tengo los millones, chones, 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 chones. Porque tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones. Porque tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones. Porque tengo los millones, porque tengo los millones.
Nada no me hace feliz, para ti falta. Yo juego con mil amos y 100,000 en tu la banca. Egocéntrico como el pana arca. Estoy pegado porque la meta está muy alta. Vamos a volar, a volar, a volar. Vamos a volar, a volar. Vamos a volar, a volar, a volar. Donde estoy pegado, donde tú no cascarás. Vamos a volar, que no somos de la tierra. Llegó el alienígena para darle todo guerra. El que está pegado siempre es el que más brilla. Si no lo ha luchado, aquí mismo te entierra. Con mi Wichipao que lo manda para la abajo. Como hora día para brillar en todos lados. Que no soy un millo y eso no come putado. Soy un millo y chico.
Porque tengo los millones, chones, 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 chones. Porque tengo los millones, chones, 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 chones. Porque tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones. Porque tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones. Porque tengo los millones, porque tengo los millones.
Lo buscando más en la tarima, con Gucci y ropa fina, con bebé de Argentina, ya estamos
Me llevé el dinero porque estoy bien pegado. Gasto por montones, algo que me he acostumbrado. Yo un tipo fino, tú no estás enmaestrado. Tú con tu paloma y yo con chicas a todos lados. Ando con chicas nivel bien fifi. El pobre de Drake, él el coge kiki. Teniendo wild thoughts con mi chica Riri. Pregunto si sigo, me dicen sí, sí. Y me dicen sí, sí. Obvio con tus amigas yo le entro en bici. Aunque yo estoy busy, esta vaina está bastante easy.
Hablan plata pero las uñatas, porque de mí ellos no saben.
Porque tengo los millones, chones, 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 chones. Porque tengo los millones, chones, 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 chones. Porque tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones. Porque tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones, tengo los millones. Porque tengo los millones, porque tengo los millones.